You know the vibes. Welcome back to another episode of the Hoop Genius podcast brought to you by NBA 2K25. It is myself, Mo, alongside me as always, the three-time NBA champion, Mr. BJ Armstrong. What up, though, B? What up, though?
Man, Mo, that's beautiful. That's music to my ears when you say that. Just hanging, watching a little NBA last night, and that's about it. There's nothing much.
Yeah.
It's the end of January, so what do we have to discuss?
Well, we got the trade deadline coming up. We got All-Star Weekend coming up. But a lot
Oh,
of
this is your time of the
fans,
year. This is your time of the year.
BJ, I'm gonna tell you something. Every time of the year is Mo's time of the
Oh,
year.
okay, all right, okay.
The Thunder and Warriors game last night tipped off 17 minutes after its scheduled start time, and a lot of fans were unhappy about this. This is
How
something that a lot of
come?
fans complain about. Games always just tip off late. Have you not noticed if a game's set to tip at 7 p.m., it will tip off at like 7:30?
I have not. I have
How
not.
have you not noticed this?
I have not noticed. It's not something that. I try to escape my everyday activities by watching basketball for those 2 or 3 hours during my evenings. So I haven't watched. I set the phone down, I get rid of my watch, and I'm just, entrenched in the game, flipping back and forth from game to game, and whichever one
Hmm.
grabs my attention. So I haven't noticed though.
Okay, that's interesting because all of the fans have noticed it and all of the fans complain about it. But there was an
Okay.
interview yesterday on the Dan Patrick show with Commissioner Silver.
Hmm.
And Commissioner Silver said that he likes the idea of NBA games going from 12-minute quarters to 10-minute quarters. Now, BJ, you know me, I've got a lot to say on this. I made a TikTok about it.
Yeah, you
But
you
let's
should.
get your
I'm
take on
sure.
this. Let's get your take on this
Well,
first.
first, before giving my take, I would love to hear the whole interview. So I haven't
I
heard the
watched the
whole.
whole interview.
Okay, I did not. So it's not fair. However, I would say this about the 48-minute game. The NBA game is the most unique game in the entire world. There's no other game like the NBA in the entire world. From the 12-minute quarters, the rules of the game, at one point, 24-second shot clock, the 3-point line distance, and the amount of games that you play. I mean, it's a marathon. And clearly it challenges your physical capability, your mental capability, your commitment to the game. However, what has changed, is the approach to this professional game and what makes it unique. So uh, that would be a radical idea to change the game at this stage. And if you're telling me you're changing the game to improve the game, I'm all in. But if you're changing the game, just give me a reason. But make sure that we improve it, that we continue to move the sport forward and making it from 12, taking it from 12 minutes to 10 minutes. What's the why? And again, I didn't hear the full interview, so I don't want to give a full in-depth comment without hearing the context. I'm just hearing the content of what you're saying here. But I would hope that it wouldn't change the game because it makes it unique. It makes the game different than every other game. And why do we want to look like, feel like, be like everyone else? It doesn't.
Mm.
It doesn't make sense in listening to that. But I didn't hear the full interview.
So here's what's interesting for me. There was a video I saw and I tweeted about it earlier in the season. It went a little bit viral. There was a breakdown of what happens when you actually watch an NBA game. 37% of the time, when you're watching an NBA game for 2.5 hours, only 37% of the time you're watching actual basketball. 32% of the time you're watching commercials. 20%, 21% of the time you're watching the game, but the ball is not in play. And 9% of the time you're watching free throws. So the reduction of quarters from 10 minutes to 12 minutes for the consumer, I don't believe solves any of these problems because they're still going to need to get their ad revenue and their ad breaks. So they're not going to reduce the lengths of intermissions and timeouts and half times, they're not reducing the amount of time that the ball's not in play, and they're not reducing the amount of time that people have spent taking free throws.
Okay.
I don't think going from a 12-minute to a 10-minute quarter is doing anything other than say the broadcasts are 2.5 hours, maybe now it's 2 hours and 22 minutes. I don't think that actually changes things. I think the problem that they're trying to address with this potentially, with this suggestion, is the attention span of the consumer, thanks to social media, so on and so forth, is now a lot shorter than it used to be, right? And games now in the NBA take a lot longer than they used to do because now we have the coaches challenge, we have the mandatory timeouts, we have so on and so forth, right? The problem from my perspective is this, right? And if we're talking just about national TV broadcasts, because there are some regional broadcasts that do a great job. Let's say, for example, an NBA Finals broadcast, right? The pre-game, the halftime, and the post-game, you're not getting anything really of substance or of value. And that's a problem that will hopefully be addressed by Amazon, with Blake Griffin, Dirk Nowitzki, Taylor Rooks, and with NBC with Jamal Crawford, them bringing in these guys. That should help things. But ESPN still remains the primary partner, and their coverage of the show, I don't believe right now is what a lot of sports fans are looking for. The other problems with this is the 30% of the time where the ball's not in play or there are free throws going on. Those phases of the game take way too long. If we're just going to accept that we can't cut down the amount of commercials and intermissions, the problem with that is the ball not being in play. So you're watching the broadcast, but nothing's happening on the court because I don't know, they're arguing with the ref, they're reviewing a call, they're reviewing an out of bounds, or players taking forever to shoot their free throws. Do you think that instead of reducing the games from 12 minutes to 10 minutes, that if they introduced a running clock, that this would encourage teams to play with a faster pace and it would reduce the amount of time that the ball's not in play, reduce the amount of time players spend taking free throws, so on and so forth?
How do I say this in a nice way? I'm not really interested in these little band-aids. Running clock, 12 minutes to 10 minutes. Let's get to the core of the game. Who's teaching the game? Let's get to the fans have already stated they don't want to watch it. Okay.
Well, it's interesting because from the interview, I watched the whole interview,
Okay.
and Mr. Silver's perspective on it was that the ratings are fine because they're on par with last year, which he says is fine. But
Okay.
he boasts about the league's social media output and impressions that they make on the younger audience on social media, right?
Okay.
And for me, who has a background in social media, working with various brands and so on and so forth, I don't think people realize that just because someone watches something on social media, that translates into the same, carrying the same weight of what someone who watches a broadcast would carry. Converting a 10-second social media clip into a paying customer versus converting a 2 hour live broadcast into a paying customer are two very different things.
There was an era where the game was perhaps, certainly here in America, it was the number one viewed game. When I say number one, as far as popularity, the biggest stars, and the sport was very healthy as far as viewership, popularity of the game, the the finances of these teams were going in the right direction, so forth and so on. There was a lot of engagement, right? Even though we weren't maybe doing it on the social media like we are today, there was engagement of the game. I'm not going around asking people to compare. I cannot tell you every single day, wherever I'm at in the world, I people come up to me. I'm not going around asking people, hey, which area you like better? Everywhere I go, I get the same thing. Man, I love that era of basketball. Young, middle age, older, I get the same thing. Well, this era is, and then people go on, right? I don't know these people. I'm not asking for these things. People come up and share this with me on their own accord. When you find something that works, you stick with it and you try to enhance that. You found the recipe that works. You found the recipe that people like. You change the recipe for what reason? I've said this. You change the entire rules of the game somewhere in the mid 90s. You start tinkering with the 3-point line. Then you tinkered with it and then you brought it back. And then you start tinkering with the rules. Was it the players? It was the rules committee, the owners, the league. You start tinkering with it. Is there a why? We're constantly stating to the numbers, but what's the substance of what we're doing here? If you're going to tinker with the game, improve the game. Tell me why. It's kind of like coaching. You tell me to run a play, but you don't tell me why. Well, why are we running this play? Just because you're the coach and I'm the player doesn't mean that I don't have the right to ask you why. I have the right to ask you why. You as a coach, that should be why you are an excellent teacher. You're telling the audience, you're telling your students why. What's your reasoning for tinkering? Has anyone ever said anything? We say these things. Let's change the rules. Let's change this. Then we justify it always by numbers and all those things. I don't know why. However, what I do know, there was an era here in America where this was the most unique game as far as basketball in the world. You got 7-game series, 24 shot clock, the defensive rules, 82 games. Why? Why, Mo? What happened? Why did they change those rules? Then all of a sudden people aren't watching, and then we justify by saying, well, the numbers are the same. Is that the number? Is that what it is? If that's what it is, then that's what it is. I'm not here to comment about it, but just tell me why. Like, just tell me why we did it. Because it was at an all-time. We had perhaps the most popular athlete on the planet. We had a game that was getting amazing reviews. Mo, you're half my age. So clearly something about it attracted you when you were a young person. Okay. What was wrong with it? Now all of a sudden, I don't want to come to the arena and watch teams host up 83s. So now I'm wrong? No, I liked what I liked.
I believe, just from my perspective, the reason for these rule changes and whatnots is almost like highlight farming. They've given offensive players more freedom. Defenders can be less physical, so that now, in theory, you get quote unquote more impressive plays. However, when you have all these, all right, cool, everyone can get to the lane and throw down an impressive dunk now. When you have all these guys who can shoot from the halfway line now, if everyone can do it, it becomes less impressive as a whole. I feel like this is why the dunk contest isn't as popular, because everyone's now just immune to great dunks on a nightly basis because the lane's wide open for everyone now.
What is it that why do you play sports? I ask myself, Mo, I'm coaching. You're playing it to win. Well, if you're playing it to win, compete. This isn't complicated to me. Like, I don't have time for this, Mo, this is like childish behavior to me. I don't have time to deal with it. If you watch the game because you want to watch highlights, so be it. If that's your view of the game, so be it. I did not start participating in sports as a kid to make a highlight. I don't care about a highlight. What I care about, Mo, is that I carry out the integrity of the game, of the why I play. When I learned how to play and I started taking interest in sports, I recognized within myself I had an appetite to compete. And my parents were saying, we don't know what we're going to do with this young man's behavior, but he likes to compete. He likes to go me versus you. We sit here, Bo, every day and you hear people say, oh man, these guys don't compete. These guys don't play. Where are the rivalries? Where is you versus me? So, all right, we make advantage where, okay, guys, we're not gonna, there's no more physicality in the game, so everyone can just go to the basket and dunk. Okay. Okay. I didn't make that rule. Mo, I go watch pickup games. Why do the pickup games look different than the NBA game? You know why? You know why, Mo? It's because we've taken the competition out of the game. We're window dressing up everything to look a certain way for whatever TV ratings or whatever the case may be. You go to a pickup game on the playground, Mo, it's more entertaining to me because guys are competing. There's a little trash talking. There's a physicality of the game. There's a, I like to compete. Here in America, why is American football the most popular game? You know why, Mo? Because it demands that you compete. It demands that you compete at an elite level. Yeah, there are certain things for television. Yeah, there are certain things you make for the safety of the athlete, but at its core, it's you versus me. You can't say that about the NBA.
I definitely think like I saw a play the other night. Porzingis dunked on someone, then he kind of flexes, brushes them off, technical foul. I saw last night Isaiah Stewart, he pushed someone, but then he's like, he just gets to walk back to his locker room unimpeded. No one does anything because no one wants to get a technical foul and a fine. I think the referees have a big part to play in this, the way that not the referees themselves, but the instructions they're under to stamp out any of the quote unquote aggressiveness in the game because now it's a family product. But let me ask you this. You talk about this golden era of basketball.
It's not golden era. It just is what it is.
Okay, okay, but
It is
we'll,
what it is.
we'll
There
take that
isn't
how
a
it is.
better era. It
But
is what it is.
how do we get back
Mo, the
to
teachers are the game. You
that?
can't get back. The teacher, there are no more teachers. How do we get back? Mo, how are you going to teach something you don't know about? The game is, Mo, you go to the court, the first team to 11 wins. What's hard about that?
We're talking about the NBA products here, though.
I'm talking about any product. Why do you play sports? We could sit here and window dress it. How do we get back? How do we teach it? Let's get the trainers and teach moves. Let's do all of this stuff. I don't want to hear about any more trainers. I don't want to hear any more about all of these guys. I don't want to hear about that. I want to hear your team versus my team. Let's compete. One ball, 12 players. Let's go. Team that wins stays on the court. Okay. That's it. When you have a why you play, it demands that you compete. When you have a why, you know who gets celebrated here? The guy who wins. Just that simple. What are we celebrating? Well, this guy's the most skilled player. Oh, this guy has the greatest moves. This guy is okay. This guy, whatever they did. Mo, who win? Who wins? It's simple.
Let me ask you something else. Do you believe that the place the NBA is in now, the contracts should be based upon how many games are played? Because I saw a stat last night.
Mo, I'm so done with these contracts.
No. Let me just listen to this. Joel Embiid, league MVP a couple years ago, has been active for 446 games in over 10 and a half seasons. Last night, he missed his 400th game. He's played almost 50% of the games he's been available, or not been available for, but he's played almost just 50% of the games that he could have played in 10 and a half years, right? He's earned $266 million over his career. 126 million of those dollars have been earned while sitting on the bench.
Okay, so who you blaming?
I'm not blaming anyone. I'm
So
asking the
what you
question.
saying?
I'm
Okay,
asking
what's
the
the question?
question that
What's
if
the question?
the contracts the players had were based upon incentives such as
So
games
Mo,
played and
if
wins and how far you get in the
okay,
playoffs, and
let me
so on,
let
not
me
on
ask you.
individual awards, which they currently are, But based on these tangible attributes that you can bring to a team, would that encourage guys to make more of an effort? And I know injuries are
Let me
impossible
ask
to
you. Let
help,
me let
but
me
would that
ask
make
you.
them play more?
Let me ask you. Let me ask you. Let me ask you. Let's get to life. You know what? Because we're always pointing to the player's contract. We're always blaming the players. We're always putting this on the players. No, this is a league. This league is. Let's start with everyone that's participating in this business. You have the owners of the league. You have the executives who are making the decisions. You have the coaches who are teaching the game, and then you have the players who are playing in the game. Okay. If Mo makes a bad decision that affects the business of that he's currently operating in, who should be held accountable who are making the decisions to pay these players? No one's telling you to pay these players. No one's telling you you have to pay these players. No one is saying do this or else. Who is making the decisions? They have, on one hand, they have all the stats you could ever ask for. When it's favorable to their decision to justify the decision, the stats become available. Then, when the stats are not favorable to the decision, you start throwing people under the bus. I'm not blaming Joel Embiid. Who paid him and why? What's your why? Why did you pay him? If you buy a car and that car doesn't work, why'd you pay for it?
That's different because you'd have had to have known that the car has a history of not working.
Joel Embiid came into the league injured. Did he not?
Yeah.
Okay, then. So why did you pay him?
They paid him on the potential of
There you go.
every time we talk
Well,
about every time, right? And this is what kills me with Embiid. Every time we talk about him, it's Joel Embiid is one of the best players in the world if he's healthy. Joel Embiid is an MVP caliber
no,
player
I know. I'm
when
not
he's
gonna get on.
healthy.
No, this ain't about Joel Embiid. No, no, no. Why did they pay him? No. Let's hold them accountable. The people who paid him hold them accountable. This is not about Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is fine. Hey, he wasn't healthy. If you're hurt, you're hurt. So why did you pay him then? Get those people to the mic. Here's the mic. The mic is hot. Tell me why you paid him. And then if he didn't play for whatever the reason may be, then they should be held accountable because that was the decision they made based on what? I'm not throwing these players under the bus. I'm not playing that game because I've been around these people way too long to know the game that's being played. No, I'm not playing that game. Why did you pay him? Tell me why. Give me your why. Give me your argument for why you recommended that he get paid whatever the number is, because I'm not counting other people's money. Why did you pay him? Because we know this is a business that there's a lot of money being exchanged. So why did they pay him then? Justify it. Explain to me. If I see something that's not performing, I want to know why I'm going to do it then. That's a simple question. When I go to the gym, I can tell you who can play. Potential has nothing to do with professional sports. I know the why. Who are the people making these decisions? Do they know the why? But why are they getting paid? Oh, well, I got the numbers. The numbers suggest, okay, I've been looking at stats my entire life. Stats, analytics, that doesn't faze me. Bring everything to the table. But when you make a decision, tell me your why. I'm not letting you get away, and I'm not going to throw these players under the bus. No, no. The people who are making the decisions step to the table. The mic is here. Why are they not held accountable? Why is it always the players here? Then you got the old school versus the new school. No. The divide and conquer is not working here. That game is over with. I've been watching this for over a half century now. That game is over with me because I know why. And I know why these people make these decisions. And I know how they do it, why they do it, when they do it. Okay, tell me why. I'm here. There you go. Here's the mic. Here it is. You can come on the show. Tell me why. You know why you're not going to tell me why? Okay, because you know I know the game. Not the basketball game. You know I know this game. No, I'm not going for that. I've been around too long. I know these kids. I know all these kids. I watch these kids play. Why they don't play that way when they play in the pickup game? Why they play different when they play in the NBA game? Man gonna pay you $200 million and then you don't want to play. Why? I know why. Do you know why? I know why. Because they tell me why.
Are you going to share
I
that with
know
us?
why. Of course not. Of course not. I'm not going to share. You know why I'm not going to share? Because let them tell you. I'm not going to talk for other people. I'm going to let them tell you why. I made a decision. When I played, and anytime I could play, I played. I know why I played. I know why I played. You know why I played, bro? Let me talk for myself. Tell you why I played. Because that's what I do. Doesn't matter whether I got paid or not. I'm showing up to the run. I'm from Detroit. That's what we do. I wanted to be a professional. I didn't want to be an NBA player. I wanted to be a professional. I said at a young age, I wanted to find out who was the best players in the world, and they were there. That's where they're at. That's where I'm going. The money, that was just a bonus. That was a bonus. I didn't grow up in the entertainment industry. I didn't want to be a child actor. I didn't want to be a child actor, make a lot of money, and become famous. I said as a young kid, I wanted to find out and play against the very best players in the world. That was my why. I showed up. I competed. I found out who was the best players, and I found out what this league was all about. I said I wanted to be a pro, and I know what that meant. I know my why. I know my why. You didn't hear me talking about stats. You didn't hear me talking about all of these training methods and all of these gimmicks. I tell you right here on the show, real name, no gimmicks. I'm showing up to the run. That's what we do. I wanted to be a pro. Mo, I didn't need no coach to motivate me. I didn't need somebody to tell me how to play. I didn't need that. Nobody was going to tell me my game. I knew my game before I got to the game. I knew my game. I knew my role. I knew what I was going to do. Now, as long as I had the intention to win, what are you going to say to me? If my intentions is to win, now I gotta, you know what? We got to get up 53s tonight. Why? Why, coach? Tell me why. Well, I got somebody coming by telling me here are the combinations that best work on the court. Have you ever played before or you compete? Every game is different. Every night presents a different challenge. Tell me. I was a pro, Mo. I wasn't some guy who just played. No, I was a pro. I was a pro. That means I worked with other people to do my job. I had a job. This wasn't like some hobby. I don't want to hear what these people have to say. But if you're gonna come and tell me what you say, tell me why. Tell me why. Tell me why you play. Tell me what formula works better than winning. Go. I'll wait. I'm not distracted by all these people. Tell me why. Tell me if there's another way for anyone to come together as a group. The ownership, the management, the coaches, and the player. Tell me there's another formula that's better than winning. Go. I'll wait. I'm a promo. That's the problem that I have. I don't disrespect people, but don't disrespect professionalism at an elite level. At an elite level, I knew professional people. And professional people do their job whether they want to do it or they don't want to do it. I'm a pro. I understood my professional responsibility. I don't want to hear what these people got to say now. Well, let's change this because of that. Let's change this because no. I got one goal here. Win. Just win, baby. And if you're not about that, maybe you should go do something else. And that's fine too. That's fine. I did not come here to see all of this nonsense. I can see nonsense in the other parts of my life. For 2.5 or 3 hours, you know what I want to see, Mo? I want to see you give me your very best. How about that? What more can I ask of another human being than to give me your very best? I didn't come here to see you do step backs. I didn't come here to see you shoot 83s. I came here for you to do your very best. What more can you ask of a human being than that? I'll wait.
I don't disagree. I don't
Okay.
disagree.
So when they start saying all those other things, you're not talking to me. You're not talking to me. I'm a pro. I'm a professional. You're not going to beat me with 83s. You know why you're not going to beat me with 83s? Because I know I'm abiding by the principles of competition. You're not going to beat me with this brand of basketball. Why? Because Mo, I know I can make adjustments and you can't. I'm a pro. I demand excellence. These aren't new concepts. These concepts have been around since the 40s. This isn't a new brand of basketball, believe it or not. This is not the first time we've seen professionals. What has changed are the people who are influencing the game. That's what's changed. The mindset, the preparation has changed. The game hasn't changed. The greatest winners of all time all play defense. Mo.
Well, they all play for a start. They all play for a
Bill
start.
Russell, the late Bill Russell, rest in peace. No one's won more than him. So why are we playing the exact opposite of him then?
Well, they've tried to figure basketball out as a mathematical equation. That's what's happening.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna sit on the sideline and I'm gonna wait for the experiment to be over with because I know what wins. I know what I like. I know what wins. And I know everyone who's played the game up until this latest version has played a similar version to that who had the concept of winning. I know why Magic Johnson played. I know why Larry Bird played. I know why Bill Russell played. I know why Oscar Robertson played. I know why Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played. I know the why.
But there are still guys, do you not think, that are in the same light?
We're talking about the game. We're not talking about guys. We're talking about the game. The game is a new version. The game now is predicated on offense. The game now is, when I go watch the game, I'm seeing all 7-footers shoot threes. Yeah, let me take Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and we got to shoot threes because that's the game. Tell me why though. Here's a man that had this is a man that had the most storied career ever. You can argue he had the most storied career ever. High school, college, and pro. Now tell me why he's going to shoot a three. Tell me how I can get on this microphone and tell me Shaquille O'Neal can't play in this era. Tell me why. Tell me why and make it make sense. Nah, you're talking to the, I'm a pro. I'm a professional. I do this for a living. I am a subject matter expert when it comes to this. I may not be a subject matter expert when it comes to other things, but this, okay, tell me why. And I'm open to learning new methods that will improve the game. Tell me why. Tell me why I would make Shaquille O'Neal shoot a three. Tell me why I would make Michael Jordan shoot threes. Tell me why.
Well, they'll tell you that 3 is worth more than 2.
Okay.
That's their whole logic.
Okay. And because I'm a competitor by nature, okay, let's play. Game on. Toss it up. And let's see who's going to win. I'm not here to convince you. Let's throw the ball up, put the raw meat out there on the court, and let's see who's hungry enough to go get it. Because when you compete, it's me versus you. Okay, all right. This is a team that wants to shoot threes. Great. Good for us.
Where I stand on it is I still believe there's a lot of players around the league who still want to compete. But the way the way they're being told to play feels a lot of times robotic. You know what I mean? It's like, this is what we do, and this is what we're gonna do.
Here is my latest. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm gonna go do something about it. I don't want to hear. I'm tired of looking at the game and tired of asking players, hey, I want you to play the game with a creative spirit. I want you to play the game. Hey, if someone gives you a 3, shoot it. If someone crowds you, go to the basket. I don't want to see a 2-on-1 and a guy pulls up from three because they by the analytics have to get up a certain amount of threes. I don't want to see guys have an opportunity to drive to the basket and then we'll do a double step back to shoot a corner three. Mo, I don't want to see that. So you know what I'm going to do, Mo? I'm tired of talking about it because I know. I'm not saying I know anything, but there's one thing I do know. You got to defend. You got to rebound and you got to share that ball. And now my job is very simple as a teacher of the game. I'm not worried about the player of the game. Is to equip these young people with the necessary skills to operate and function under duress in a hostile environment. And what that means, Mo, it's me versus you. It's us versus that team. Let's throw the ball up and let's see who wants it. That's that simple. And I don't want to hear anymore about all of this numbers. Let's compete. And if your version of competition wins by just shooting threes, I can live with that. But I know you're not going to beat me just shooting threes. That's one thing I do know. You're going to have to do something else. You're going to have to defend, which, okay, how you going to shoot threes if you don't defend? You can't offensive rebound if you're shooting threes. I don't have to worry about certain aspects of the game when you go to win because, Mo, you're not going to beat me 4 out of 7 shooting threes. That's a fact. You're not going to beat me playing that brand of basketball. That's a fact. You're not going to compete against me playing that version of basketball. That's a fact. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. And you know this. And all of you people who are shooting threes, I'm tired of watching it. We've all said we're tired of watching it. So you're trying to convince me, no, that's not. When we watch the playoffs every year, why does Drew Holiday win? Why does he win? Why did the Celtics win last year? Because they played defense. Why did the Warriors win? They played defense. Why did the other teams win? They all played defense. So we all know what wins. But we continue to want to say, this is how we want it to look. This is how it has to feel. This is how we want to. Okay. All right. Everybody can shoot threes. Okay. That's fine. The best players all play defense. Gary Payton, Ben Wallace, Dennis Rodman, Michael Jordan, all these guys. Akeem Olajuwon, Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant.
Kevin Garnett.
Wait a minute. Kevin Garnett. Wait a minute. We can go down the list. We can go down the list here. Derek White this year. I mean, come on. Like, we're looking for these guys. We know what wins. We know what wins.
And I think Jason Tatum might be the most underrated defender in the NBA.
Okay. There you go.
You see him last night. He was like, the other night, he was like scoreless in the first half. But he had the biggest impact on the game because of his passing and his defense.
I'm done with this.
Now we'll just look at Tatum's had an awful first half. He scored 0
points. I'm done with this. Now I've given you a chance because out of respect. Now you're disrespecting the game. Okay, you can disrespect. We can have a difference of opinions. Okay, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But your argument doesn't stand on principles for the game. Your arguments don't stand on the principles of the game. Some of the greatest teachers to ever teach the game were principled people. The principles of how we're playing doesn't stand the test of time. So I'll wait. I'll patiently wait because these young people deserve better. You're a 7-footer. Why are you shooting threes? You're a 7-footer. Mo, I'm watching 7-footers right now get a switch. Right? Guy come off, if you walk by someone, you automatically switch. Okay, that's the way we teach the game. I'm holding everybody accountable. If I walk by you, Mo, we switch. Wait a minute. We just switch. You're not even setting the screen. If I walk by you, Mo, you automatically switch. That's a fact. You're laughing, but that's what we're paying these players millions of dollars to do.
I'm laughing because I am half your age, and it makes me mad.
If I walk by you, Mo, we automatically switch.
Yeah.
You're not even setting the screen. You're just going to walk by, switch. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's the game. I go, man, that's a shame that these guards today, they don't know how to fight over a screen. They don't know how to go one-man remove. They don't know how to go two-man remove. They don't know how to hedge and recover. They don't even know. But here's the sad part that you're asking me to pay thousands of dollars to watch per night. I switch on Victor Wembanyama, and he doesn't go to the box and post that guy up. And that guy's shorter than me. He's six foot guard. I watch them switch on Porzingis, and he goes to the free throw line and shoots what they call a Dirk Nowitzki, whatever.
Yeah, a fadeaway.
On a guy 6'3", 6'4". No. Now, the fact that I don't want to watch that, and I'm just using those two as an example. I don't want to see a 7-footer shooting a fadeaway on a guy that's 6'3". I'm not watching that. I'm not buying that. I'm not watching a guy pick and pop. I'm not watching that.
I think there are situations in which it works.
You run that. I'll see you at 7:30, and I'm going to find somebody. When you play against me in my gym, I'm tired of watching this gym. When you play against my gym, that's not happening. There will never be a 7-footer who plays for me who is not going to punish some 6-foot guy that's switching on him. I'm punishing you. And there's not going to be a team where we don't play with recognition to say, where's the mismatch? 5-out offense for what? I'm not letting you off the hook by shooting a 3. No, Mo, no. I know how hard it is to play defense. Now, if I'm a defensive player, I want you to do that. Why? That's the easiest thing to guard. You gonna play 5-out offense? Perfect. I don't even have to worry about you driving. Great. That's the easiest thing to guard. However, I know this generation don't know that. Why? Who's teaching them? They can't even fight over a screen. Mo, they can't even fight over a screen. You don't even, Mo, I am willing to bet you 75% of the players today don't even know how to defend the post.
They don't need to. No one posts up. They don't need to. I think Embiid can go out and score 70 when he does play.
Well, I'm tired of watching that. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go teach the game that I know works. Because I'm going to punish you. I need to find me some Paul Pierce's, Kevin Garnett's, Dwayne. I need to find someone where I can punish the defense and dictate what I want to run, not what. Oh well, we just want to play this way. A style of we want to be fun. We're the fun guys. No, I'm punishing you.
And do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell you to subscribe to the show. YouTube, Spotify, and Apple.
Yeah, Mo. I don't know why you got me started with all of this. and you know, I want to say this. If this is the version that you love, I respect that. I don't have a problem with that. This isn't me versus. But Mo, I am not going to play a brand of basketball that I know is not conducive to winning. I'm going to pass on the knowledge to whoever wants it to say, you know what? Whatever arises during the course of the game, you have a skill set to counter whatever it is you want to do. That's called playing with freedom. You know what, Mo? You know what fundamentals do? It gives you the freedom to play in the game. I want these players to play with the freedom. Mo, you're coming down on a 2-on-1 break and you pull up and shoot a 3. Why?
They following the spreadsheets.
They
following the spreadsheets, my guy.
You're 7 feet and you're picking and popping. Why? Mo, how many times do we got to watch a guard get to the basket, have a layup, and throw it to the corner? Why?
They playing the numbers.
Okay. If that's the version that you like, that's great. But Mo, when you get to the playoffs and you need to get up a shot, why does every good player go to the mid-range? So why do we have to wait to game 7 for everybody to all of a sudden throw out everything they've been doing for the first 82 games and then make all of these little cute things that people are saying? No. Let's see who's really hungry. Because Mo, you know what? I can't wait. I need more Idokas to coach.
Yeah, facts.
I need Idokas because you know what? He eats raw meat. He eat the raw meat. He ain't. All of you guys are cooking. You know how you want your steak done? Well, I want it medium well, and I want mine medium, and I want no. I need more Idokas. I need somebody to say, you know what? That's not how we play here. I need to compete. He competes. That's why he is one of my favorite coaches. He's got a player right now. That kid, is it Amen Thompson?
Yep.
That is coaching. And let me tell y'all something. Let me tell the rest of the league. Coach Udoka, if you listening, you keep doing you, my brother. Because all of this other stuff, shooting threes and all of that, no. Because he defends, that team rebounds, and they share the ball, and they compete. And he will fight if need be.
That's a
and
fact.
The rest of y'all are sitting in your comfy little offices looking at spreadsheets. Udoka is playing on the sideline 82 games, and his team represents his personality. Now, that is the NBA. So when we get more of that, then we'll get back to saying, okay, the first rule of being in the NBA is it should be tough. It should be a grind. It should be difficult. Why? Because these are the best players in the world, and they came here to compete. Instead, I don't want to see a 3-point shooting contest. I don't. I can watch that at All-Star Weekend. That's a halftime event. I don't want to watch specialists playing in the game. I want to watch players who are ready to compete on both ends of the court. I don't want to hear, oh, this guy's the best two-way player. Everybody should be a two-way player. Isn't that part of the business? That's part of the game that we're evaluating. What's the first thing you hear? I cut my phone off now when I hear, man, we need more shooting. The first thing they ask, can they shoot? No. Can you compete? I don't want to hear this anymore. So let them have what they want. Let them keep looking at the internet and all those things. But Mo, when you see me on the sideline, it's going to resemble someone like Udoka. It's going to resemble someone where we're coming to compete. I'm not bailing you out by shooting a 3 with a 7-footer. The bigs that I have, Mo, they're going to get that ball in that post. They're going to play big.
Well, you have to teach them because now 7-footers from high school are trying to play that point guard.
It's easy. Mo, you know why it's easy? Because I'm going to teach guards what we don't see anymore. How about a guard being able to throw it into the post? How about that?
I wish.
How about that, Mo?
There's no one in the world that's a bigger fan of post-ups than me. So
how about playing the game with the proper spacing? Okay, you got a little guy on you, let's throw it in. They come to W, you pass it out. Hey, I'm all for shooting 100 threes if that's the shot that we're supposed to shoot. But I'm not bailing you out, Mo, by shooting no threes for no reason. I'm taking that ball to that basket. Now, that's all I got to say about that. Keep doing what you guys are doing as far as the way you play, the way you coach, and all your analytics people. But you better hope, Mo, that people like me don't get on that sideline because it's going to be a new version. And I'm going to tell you this. It's going to be that version versus this friendly version of basketball because it's friendly. Hey, let's come out and shoot. It's like, let's come out and shoot in the backyard and shoot threes. Let's play horse. No, Mo.
Let's find the dogs.
No, Mo. Let's find them.
Let's find where the real
You better
dogs are.
hope, Mo. You better hope that people like me don't get back into this game. Because, Mo, the game is going to change. Because everybody who played 82 games and know what that really means, they going to put that attitude back into the game. See, it's a different attitude back in the game right now. It ain't nothing wrong with the kids. Ain't nothing wrong with these kids. We know who's putting the attitude. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it in a polite way. The Houston Rockets reflect the attitude of their coach. Now, when you watch your favorite team, let's see what attitude reflects the personality of your favorite team. My favorite team, they're going to get that loose ball, Mo.
That's facts.
Mo, my favorite team is going to get it. So when you watch the game, start asking, what attitude is your favorite team reflecting? Udoka is my favorite coach. I don't need a 3 to win. Udoka is my favorite coach. And when you see him, you can ask him, because I tell him that every year. I tell him, don't change. You my favorite coach. Everybody, oh man, there's a reason that the Houston Rockets are winning. You can go look at the cute stuff if you want to. Udoka is gonna win. He gonna win because he's pouring back into the game. He ain't shoot. You don't see them sitting around waiting to shoot threes. You don't see him complaining about having too many players. You don't see them not getting loose balls. But let me tell you this, if there's a loose ball, they're going to get it. That team is going to compete. And it's not going to be 5 versus 5 because Udoka going to fight. I don't know how many other coaches going to fight on the sideline.
Udoka, Mazzulla, and that's
hey. Okay. Mazzulla, I respect that.
Mazzulla's a dog.
I respect that. Hey, I respect that. Now, when you get more of them guys.
And Mazzulla was part of Udoka's coaching stuff. So you can see how it goes.
When you get more of them guys on the sideline.
All right. Well, BJ, I'm going to tell you what. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the sidelines. I'm going to go purchase myself a nice quarter zip so I can be sitting behind the bench. Because you know for damn sure I'm fighting.
That's the game, Mo. Not physically. We're not talking about Mo. We fighting. Oh, you fight.
Yeah,
you play.
That's definitely
you
not
compete. That's what we do. Now, all this other stuff, you do it. And if that's your game, you do it. If that's what you want, because I'm gonna tell you this, I'm gonna give you a little dark secret. I want to play against the teams that shoot threes. That's the easiest thing to defend if you're a pro. But if you're not a pro and you don't know the game, oh man, you think that's hard to defend. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you this, and then I'm gonna let it go. I played against the Detroit Pistons, those teams.
The bad boy Pistons.
The bad boys. I played against those teams, okay? I played against those teams. Mo, you're not going to beat this team playing 5-out offense. Let me assure you this. Everybody keeps saying this version versus that version. You are not going to beat those pros. They have Hall of Famers coming off the bench, okay? You're not going to beat that team defensively, offensively, or whatever it is you're doing with this version of basketball. That is a fact. I'm not talking about these players. I'm talking about the executives who are making these decisions, okay? The executives today don't understand what the executives of the previous generation understood. Because I know, I every year, as you know, I go to the coaching I go to all the coaching events, and I know the coaches know. So it's not the coaches. The coaches are doing what the executives are requiring them to do. I'm going to say that again. The coaches are doing what the executives are requiring them to do. They're playing a brand of basketball that the coaches know won't win. How do I know that? Because I sit there with all of these coaches. You cannot find me a coach that doesn't understand the value of defense. Well, why are they not playing defense? How are you going to have transition defense if you're shooting threes all the time? And because I know this, Mo, I'm putting the responsibility on where it lies. It's above them. And you are not going to play a brand. But how do I know this? Is because every year, Mo, the game always resorts back to how it was always meant to be played in the playoffs. And everyone acknowledges that. So, Mo, with that, I'm going to let it go. You have a great day.
You too, my brother.
Because you got me started. I wasn't even trying to go down this path.
Hey.
But let me tell you something. Mo, just miss me on all of the nonsense. And I'm just going to sit here. But when I do show up, Mo, and when you see my team, it's going to resemble Udoka.
Let's get it.
These players are going to have confidence, because confidence is a funny thing. And you don't have to shoot a three to play for me. You know what you got to do? You got to get that loose ball, though.
And you know what else? You know what else? You know what else they got to do? They got to subscribe to the damn show. Usually Spotify, Apple, wherever your podcast from.
And if you one of them type of people, you rock with us. You rock because you know what? We want to compete.
For all the real dogs.
Who has the best shows? Bring us and the microphone, and we show up.
Hey,
All
I'm
of
gonna tell you
this.
this right now. Ain't no show better than this one.
Okay, then.
My favorite show, Kevin Garnett's show. Maybe that's the only one I think's better than us.
Love
But everyone
what they
else,
do.
but
Love
everyone
what they
else,
doing. Love what they doing.
but everyone else who's not Kevin Garnett, it is what it is. Until next time, BJ, appreciate you. We're gonna stay competing and getting buckets.